feeling really stuck there, Kyle.
We're not on camera, so now I can just kind of let loose.
That is true.
So you unbelt the pants, kick the feet up.
Look, put them back
That's a
on.
good idea. No, really, we should just... I mean, it's not like I can bring the cameras back to us or anything.
Damn, they said it's bad for the... Oh, fine. I gotta move over.
Alright,
have to reposition.
Hang on.
Looks like you get to look at something less pretty than Beastmaster. In 3, 2, 1. There we go, that's close. That's some pigeon math right there. But we're back. Apologies for that. We've returned, and as you can see, we've almost completed this draft, so...
Can I just say how amazing it is? It's just straight up Murphy's Law. We do an event, counting the charity event. But
There's a lot of days, yeah.
22 days, no issues. The final day, game 1 draft starts, you lose power.
But we had players delayed, power gone. Everything gone wrong.
When the players wasn't home, then we have a power cut. How are we going to
Also,
end this
how
day?
in the hell are you not home?
I don't know.
Where would you go? We're all at home.
It's that pre-site like workout, the walk, the run. But anyway, Liquid, go to decide right now. This is the issue I think for that they have to. The only issue that they have right now is deciding: is this window going to just support? What are they using in this last pick? How are we going to enable the rest of their team? As Kyle really stares.
Yeah, Kyle, you're looking deep into that. Has the eyesight got worse since we got here?
It doesn't matter. Don't focus on the draft, guys. That's what's important.
It's hard.
We were last picks coming up. I like that Prodigy banned Lycan out in the second phase, or Lone Druid rather. They took Lycan out in the first phase. These are the heroes that I'm really spooked by if I'm playing against Liquid. Is this stuff that just naturally translates into objectives. You need a Koifa hero now, I would imagine, because I think this is a Mickey Monkey, especially against a Centaur. I think Quap is a possibility. Lena, perhaps, but not a huge fan. I think something a little more durable.
Yeah, I would say normally in this position you just pick the hero that can mid or carry, right? So it's the Quap.
Ooh, use Kunkka.
Do you just Kunkka?
On the side of Liquid. Yeah?
Maybe.
Kunkka's really nice.
Show FN how it's done? No? We're going to see a Bristleback coming out instead.
Okay.
That's right.
It's really nice against Wind Ranger and Centaur, and you look at this draft, and all of a sudden you feel like they've exploited a weakness here for VP Prodigy, which is the sustained DPS does not exist. It's
Well, it's also the fact that like if they are the aggressors, they're going to run into this Bristleback. He just parks himself in front of you. It's so easy for Liquid to play the rest of the map, and to get a kill, you have to commit so many resources to that one kill that. Yeah, it's really easy for Liquid to farm up.
They did not ban Necro, so that's a possibility. Death Prophet is gone. That's not surprising, but yeah, I'd say. But see, once again, you have this problem with VP Prodigy where they don't have any tower pressure.
Yeah.
They're all like, in the start of this tournament, they're all in on a fight, and I was skeptical. Like this fight is so bad, but then they took so many good fights in the map. The meta has shifted a little bit, and I feel that playstyle. So they then go for the Quap, grounding themselves in the mid lane, giving themselves a little bit of presence. and it's all about taking those fights. The issue is their only tower damage is the retaliate on the centaur.
Yes.
Other than that,
Which isn't bad for tier 1.
Yeah.
But
I like the draft. They have good matchups, but I feel like this is just sort of exactly what we expected. Where Liquid, maybe your cores don't have the greatest, the co-op's a counter, quote unquote, to the MK, but you can actually win this game as Liquid. You can take Roche, you can take towers, and eventually these 3 cores are going to be super tanky, whereas the Co-op Ember will always be susceptible to just getting caught out by a Grimstroke ult into a Purge, into a Roar, etc. And Oracle can only save the 1. You're also operating from a vision disadvantage because you're playing against Hawks and monkeys in the trees. It feels like it's an easier game for Liquid to win.
And even if they are the aggressors, right, how are they pushing out their waves to match that aggression, right? How are they going to make these clean moves? Because what do they have? Power shot? Scream on a quad? Like, it's not clean. It's not that kind of OG-esque where all lanes are pushed out, they're running at you, you lose a fight and suddenly you're pressured in all lanes, right? So I understand Prodigy trying to focus more on the laning phase, but the biggest issue we have is the fact that Liquid, it's just too easy for them to set up a defense and take all the objectives like Kyle said.
So, if VPP are going to pull this off, are we saying it has to be outright gank spam constantly? That's their one hope in hell?
Kinda, yeah, pretty much. It's maybe a little bit toned down to the idea of they have to play a very strong, aggressive game, set the tempo, maybe even force Liquid into Roshan, take the fight at Roshan, steal the Aegis.
It is weird to have to watch the game under the operating knowing that VP Prodigy need like a 2-to-1 kill advantage to be even. And probably 3-to-1 win. And that's the problem with the draft. It's more geared towards finding easier kills, having a stronger laning phase, but can you sustain that for 30-40 minutes? I don't think so. I think Liquid take this on the back of 1 or 2 big team fight wins, maybe with the buyback, but the beauty of this draft is that's all you need. That one fight into Roche, into a tower, and suddenly map control's yours.
And then on VPP's side, I think they have to pray that Liquid gets Roche low and then catch them off guard because there's no way in hell they're taking it themselves. But we'll have to see how this one is going to go down. I'm going to test something because I think we've got our boys ready. We got them back on the line as they are ready to go. And what a way to kick it off. We've got Toby and Cinder and the classic combo back together to start us off with Pro Prodigy versus Liquid.
Yes, whereas Classic is Navi versus Alliance, and just as relative, Liquid versus the VP Prodigy, not the real VP. It's the other VP, as all the greatest teams. The better one. It's like all the Chinese teams, Tekken teams worked, right? That always supersede the original.
I think they're probably the team that performed the most over the average expectation in this tournament. I thought VP Prodigy were going to do really well going into this, but I would probably not have placed them top 3 in the whole thing. So they've been doing a really good job here getting this far. And they're playing something... They're playing to their strengths, basically. This is the kind of stuff that they've been playing all tournament, which can be a little bit concerning because it also means that, enemy teams are going to be preparing better and better and better for you. But their execution has just been so good, like they said on the panel, that it hasn't mattered a lot of the time. Save. We'll have to use Windrun here. Get out. But...
map control is going to really start to be yours, and momentum will start to be yours. But I want to see how Mickey goes on this Brussels back. You were mentioning to me before. Now, we had a horrendous game as Bristleback last time we got to play this hero in the Pushka League, and now he gets to play it mid against the Queen of Pain.
Actually, it was on the other side. It was Limp's Bristle, and it was yesterday. But he was playing against Shadow Demon, and I think Liquid, they made sure there's no Shadow Demon in the enemy team. They first picked it, so they can end off their draft with this Bristleback, knowing the enemy team has one counter pick, and feel like he's not too bad in the game because they have the protection of not having to face XT. Now, Bristol has been a little bit polarizing. Like, you go back 2 weeks, and teams were like first phasing it, thinking it was insanely strong, and then solutions were found, and it kind of faded. And then some teams have been pulling it off here or there, but it's kind of in this spot now where it seems like it's one of the last picks of the draft, and I wonder what Liquid really saw in it here. Except we want a frontliner. If there's no matchups here that really shine for me. Maybe they thought it was a mid Ember, and they just wanted to counterpick that with a mid Bristle and force Ember onto side lane. Because that's obviously a really good match for Bristle as the Ember mid. That might be a big part of the reason, actually, that they did it. But they already had Monkey King, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they had Kloiber's Monkey King as well. He'd be very willing to go there. Yeah, but how does the matchup really work there with the Bristleback? Like, he's going pretty ham against FN underneath the tower, but he's burned all of his consumables available. FN, one cool spray is not enough. He has stick charges available and the Fairy Fire ready to go.
I want to say this is a Quap favored lane. Like, she should just win on basically efficiency, like how much mana she needs to pay to deal good damage. Bristle needs to pay more and therefore has to buy more regen. Queen of Pain just maxing out Shadow Strike. You probably get 3 points in it, honestly, on level 5, and you just keep spamming it on Bristle nonstop. He has to buy too much regen. For now, it's even though. 12 and 2 against 12 is free, but sometimes mess up. He'll get the deny in the range creep though. So
It was still have Mickey's timing, and once again, like, okay, well, this Alf and Tango, he's down to 1 Tango. For all the consumables that Mickey has had, he still can't get himself over 1/3 HP. He's trying his hardest.
Oh, basically. He's just been
Oracle's
so
having
stable.
some trouble.
Yeah, mine is dead. Good for
Insania's got him. But yeah,
Or making, just having bad judgment calls. His mechanics have always been really, really good, especially in lane. But just feels like they've kind of tamed the beast a bit in this team and just got it way more under control. He's probably been the most improved.
Prince are going to come up, and it's actually going to be a 3-for-1 trade-off in favor of Prodigy. And I don't think that's what Tiger wanted to have happen either. It's very rare when you get a bottle builder coming in the mid, and he doesn't. And she's going to die. I think he
has
ticks.
to fairy or die.
He chose death.
I think he lives there with Fairy Fire and turning his back, but he might have felt like this is the lesser evil. Sometimes dying is better than having to use your consumable, run all the way back to base to then TP out. This way he connects with the wave faster. That walk back to base is long. When you don't have boots, it takes really, really long.
Still seems pretty brutal to give Queen of Pain the kill in the lane, and she's having the free wave.
Absolutely.
But he'll be here for the catapult wave push, as long as he can keep his catapult alive. But FM will just begin where he left off. Aggressively in the face of the Bristleback. My god, Mickey. How much damage can you take from this? And now the Arcane Rune. Insania will deny it.
Yeah, he didn't want to risk that FN just blinks and snaps it in front of him, so...
It's not like Bristleback's a good controller.
Yeah, there's no way Bristle gets that rune. He's never going to get it. Like, the way FN is playing this lane so hyper-aggressively, he's preventing the Bristleback from pushing the lane. And the way Bristle gets runes from that mid lane is by just spamming Cold Spray 3 or 4 times in a wave, and then going to the rune. But he just doesn't get access in here. We've been talking a lot about the mid lane. I want to look a little bit to the other sides too.
Sure.
Shackle shot bottom. Good reason
That's
to
a good
watch.
place to look. Boxy's trying to retreat back out again. He'll get to the tower. The immolation's really burning it. And if he gets Light of Fist has off cooldown right now. So, goodbye Boxy. Good thing to watch the side lane, Sin.
Prodigy are really off to a good start here. They're basically winning 2 lanes, and their Centaur top is more or less drawing with Monkey King. Getting his level 5 now. Koikva has a clear experience advantage, however, with that level 6. But overall, I'd say Prodigy are probably very happy with what has happened in this early game. Big XP and gold lead already.
Yeah. Like, I know the panel was talking about Prodigy's problems, like pushing down buildings, but when you go a lineup like this and you're feeling confident you can get momentum, this feels like exactly the type of lineup you could just push your advantage further and further forward. Your split push is going to be so damn strong as well.
You know what every lineup has, no matter what heroes you pick? You have
She's
siege
pushing
creeps.
high ground.
You have siege creeps.
Uh-huh.
And if you can protect those by being stronger and play the timing just like Prodigy did here, where they bullied Beastmaster out of the lane and killed him and then had a siege creep, you can still get a tower mid at 730. So, honestly, super good job so far. Getting this bottom tower is a pretty big deal. And I reckon they're going to try to make a move mid-minute 10. That would probably be a really good decision for their lineup, knowing that Bristle is struggling, Beastmaster is struggling. You should have the upper hand minute 10 with a level 6 Centaur. Both your Ember and Quap are monsters minute 10. These heroes are so good right then. Oh, opening
time.
mid.
Yeah, Epikid's looking to fight. The Shackle is out over on Mickey, and Liquid bring in 3 players. Epikid isn't left here just yet. And with the arrival of FN under the cover of an invis rune, he just wants to quickly pick off Tiger. No defensive disruption available. The power shot helping with the extra tick. Emperor Spirit, he didn't have to do that, but he did it anyway. And then jumps down towards the bottom and away from the Beastmaster as quick as he can. But while all this is going on, DM has just taken the 2 triple stacks that Team Liquid set up.
Oh god.
Yeah, the bleed is real.
Liquid love stacking. I talked about this yesterday. I think they're the team in this tournament with clearly the most average stacks per game. I don't have a stat for it. It's just a gut feeling from watching the games. Insane is dead, by the way. Sonic Wave. Yeah, they make so many stacks, and it's very predictable too, because they do it the same way every game. So it's just a matter of time before a team drafts aggressive early on and manages to invade, just like Prodigy did here. And it pays off big time. Dude, Ember's so far ahead, actually. How is he this far ahead?
2 kills to his name. They took the 2-1 tower on bottom lane as well.
Monkey King. Monkey had a good start. This is really, really big advantage for him.
Boxy just can't pressure this lane at all. Winrange is moving to the tree line looking for maybe initiation if Beastmaster wants to come out a little bit further. Alright, Prodigy. They've got to be feeling so damn good. No T1 tower for Boxy to hide behind.
Yep, 10 minutes about to come up, so we're getting outposts and bounty runes. Looks like a 1-for-1 split on the outpost.
Yeah, speaking of bounty runes, no one actually took that bounty rune.
Wait, was there a 5-minute bounty still there?
Yeah, there was a 5-minute bounty on the southern northern one. Shackles are out. Grimstroke is 2 layers. And we get the searing chains plus the shackle shot. But now quick spirit out. Mickey needs to protect these ancients. They can't afford to lose yet another stack.
And now that they forced this rotation, Monkey King actually TP'd bottom, and Prodigy saw that. So now Centaur will play aggressive top. He's going to push into the wave and start hitting the tower with his siege creep. And in the meantime, the Queen of Pain in mid wants to try to keep her siege creep alive with the following wave. Currently choosing not to destroy the enemy catapult to keep it alive long enough. Okay, now he's doing it. I think this is a mistake.
The creep wave's going to hold it back just enough, as long as he can pull it off. But Mickey, I think he knows he has to get rid of this thing.
Yeah. Mickey can handle it with the physical spell damage. It's obviously really good against the siege creep, so didn't get too much out of this.
Tiger's got the perfect trip stack. 3 camps all at the same time. Bottom lane, Ember Spirit, he's in a lot of trouble. Getting caught out. Oracle's trying to give him the extra survivability, and Epikid's able to actually have it. Monkey King not in the perfect balance strike, and Hefan comes in. The Sonic Wave mopping up Boxy and Koifa, moving into Insania. Virtus Pro, they lose the Oracle. The Team Liquid's aggression does not pay off.
So quick on that rotation. This is one of, in my opinion, the big weaknesses of playing Bristle mid in this patch. If you're playing against a high-tempo mid hero like Queen of Pain or Ember as examples, or Void Spirit, their rotation potential is just so strong. Like, every time your team makes a move, if Bristle is not a part of it, the other mid hero will join very quickly and swing it in their favor very easily. And obviously Bristle, in addition to that, also lost his lane this game, which I think is understandable. It's a hard matchup.
Yep. They're helping Mickey recover. Like, they at least gave him now that the second triple stack that was prepared up by Tiger. So he's now number 1 net worth for Team Liquid. But what does this item, what does this money really go into? He picks up a hood, but can you still stand against the Prodigy lineup? So I'm also seeing a blink dagger coming in from a centaur. So VP, they're going to smoke up. Maybe a little prematurely, because the Blink Dagger is only now just getting onto the Centaur.
I think it's the mid move here, once again. They want to get...
They want Mickey.
They don't really want Mickey, they want his tower, I think. But maybe an invasion into the ancient area. The Asian area. I saw Ember Spirit, that's why, it's the lore. Didn't find the kill though. Good read from Boxy to back out, but they do get control of the area and they get a good aggressive ward down, and this could be an opening mid. They're starting to poke.
Yeah, now they get Mickey. Insania gotta wait in the back lines. He's trying to let off a quick little silence to control up the Centaur, but
no no full hood yet, so just the cloak is not enough.
They can just keep pushing mid. Why not? You built up your retaliate stacks. Your creep wave's coming in as well. Beastmaster's doing the best he possibly can, Boxy, just to force out the bottom lane. You're seeing the circle being drawn as Epikid who's the one doing it. Everywhere on the south. I wish to dominate the south. And they're going to have exactly that when it comes to vision.
But they're already trying to find Boxy again here. With Aina, he might. Boxy is standing in a pretty peculiar spot. If he cuts out and even tries to touch this creep wave, he's dead instantly. And there's no Hawk. Now there is. Now he'll see him. Pings it out.
Oracle sees the forced. No. not when DM cutting the wave.
Something could have happened.
Yes. It's the ultimate suspense. It's the announcement of the fight. There are 5 heroes from Prodigy, they're all gathering up together in mid. They really want to be able to find another engagement. Smoked up, Mickey, farming up stacks, feels like we've seen this before. And now the jump comes in, perfect will stop him from DM. Support can be there from Tiger for a defensive disruption. He has to let it out now, but the Stampede lets VP just move forward to kill off Tiger first, then come back for Mickey. Where they began this engagement. And Liquid losing 2 so quickly before the 15-minute mark. And what do you get in return? You get Koi for farming on top, you get Beastmaster farming on bottom.
Yeah, that's the question. Like, what is Liquid building up for here? Can they try to find a fight of their own, or are they just kind of at the mercy of VP Prodigy running at them and trying to counterplay with Shadow Demon? Because if that's what they're trying to do, you can't protect Bristle with just one guy right now. Your lanes are being pushed, your map is very dangerous. If you want to set up a bait, you need more defense. And if you want to show in like 2 or 3 lanes like this, you're expecting casualties. But I don't think this is the guy you want to have die. You might be better off sending Shadow Demon to do a little bit of wave duty, and then he can get killed as the target. It's not that valuable right now. He's only 2,000 net worth and level 7. Losing a Bristle that's level 11 is a different story. As he's farming the jungle, you have to expose somebody else, I think. Epikid could be open on...
Tiger's on ward duty. Aina's coming up behind him, and Epikid, he's ready for this fight. FN's nearby too. There's 2 more Spirit Vessel charges. That's exactly what Ember Spirit will get. Commit 1, get 1.
I mean, it's not great, but it's obviously much better than the alternative, which is to lose a core there. VP are just running around as a squad of 4 to 5 heroes.
Speaking of which, in towards mid, Save looking for a good shackle line, and Sania buying some extra space for Mickey to back up. Triggers the hood, which is now completed. But Epi wants his own fight. He's not going to find it.
And Prodigy, they have to keep playing very aggressive like this. In terms of like later on in the game, the Ember has gone for the Vessel first, so physical damage will fall off. It's going to hit a wall at some point here, where both Quap and Ember are not that strong against armor and BKBs. So if they can keep kind of squeezing as much out of the map as possible and stay ahead by this amount, they should be fine. But obviously, Liquid should have their minds on some sort of protection against this kind of high-tempo Magic lineup.
Yeah.
In their itemization.
You got like Lotus Orb build in from Bristleback, so it's obviously not full auras coming in.
I think Koiko will go Deso into BKB. But that's still a ways away. Okay, they're actually going to finally try to make their own move here, Liquid.
Where do they go?
What prompted it, if they got a key item that I'm not seeing. I don't think anything really changed, but they're just tired of losing, I think.
You just try and battle on bottom lane. Use the Bristle as bait, push the tier 1 tower, but if no one defends the tier 2 tower in mid, this may also be another big flag. I love how Ember Spirit is going to pick up the Imp Court before this fight might begin. Now put the emphasis on might. The moment Prodigy are taking a tier 2 tower, potentially 2 tier 2 towers with the pressure from Epikid on top, for what will be the price of the tier 1 tower on bottom.
They're going to force them back again, I think. It's very transparent from Liquid right now. They're showing 2 cores on this bottom tower. You can force high ground here, and you're guaranteed to get the outcome that you want, which is to force the enemy team back to base so they don't stay in your jungle. I would at least like to see that. I don't think... At least their creep wave died. This 10-second or 15-second delay actually matters quite a bit. So maybe they're going to settle for top. Looks to be the case.
Yeah.
I think they did want to force them back, but they lost their wave. And then the timing doesn't really favor them anymore. So they're gonna spill out into the map once again. Queen of Pain in this rune again. If he fights Koikva here...
Every action rune you want. The Hawk is out, so Epikid is visible. Do you really want to fight into this? You're still not really a combat ready for Team Liquid.
Yeah, when are you, though?
That's a very good question. Now, the panel was saying Liquid just needs to win one fight and then they can push, but it's not even seeing that. Bristlebank in trouble. Tiger, defensive disruptions out. And now force Epikid to TP away to safety. Both these teams with good saving heroes, be it the SD or the Oracle.
Yeah, they bait out a Soul Bind, but obviously it's a lot harder. Access to less resources, but at the same time you feel like you need to protect the key heroes at the right times. It's just a very difficult balance to strike. Obviously Prodigy did a good job at identifying when they could invade and get kills on Mickey. They might try again here.
Yeah, they are. Tiger walks up, defensive disruption, and they'll give it another shot. Fortunate it's not going to be able to connect, and even Grimstroke will be there for the extra silence, but it's a good route. And the Sonic Wave committal, and the Blink forward from Save. That was a curve shot.
Remember
when
when
it
I said
comes
it
to the
wasn't
shackle
happening?
shot.
It was happening.
Definitely
Sick
did.
shackle shot, 5-man rotation, the Quap comes in with the whole shebang. I did not see that kill on Bristle. I didn't think it was gonna.
I don't think Liquid also were,
They were not
ready for the.
expecting that to be a kill.
They weren't even ready for the Blink Dagger, catching the back line. Now you've got more issues. Beastmaster well away from the rest.
So what was it the panel said? You need to have a 3-to-1 kill lead as VP? It's 7-to-1 right now. That should be good enough. It's good enough.
It does sound good. And bounty runes are all going to belong to them too if they do want to claim the ones on the north.
You could tell on that Bristleback kill that Liquid didn't think he could die, because they didn't bring in more support, right? They weren't expecting that to develop into a team fight. They were just like, I'm fine. Disrupt me, give me Inkswell, I'll run away, turn my back, put on my hood. But it was still enough. And that's concerning now. If you can die outside right outside the doorsteps of your base with Bristle to getting jumped like this, you might have to group up more, and your lineup just can't really afford it right now. At least this is a bit of a help. Koik for picking up Deso.
But you look at the itemization coming back from Virtus Pro. FN's going into Shiva's guard, so he's already looking for his own protection. And the BKB is on the way for Ember Spirit. He finished his own Desolator as well. So you asked Prodigy to have answers to the armor build-up of Liquid. They are arriving.
Yep. The Deso being online is really big for both teams, really. The struggle for Liquid, however, is still getting an initiation. Boxy has been so quiet this game on Beastmaster. I feel like I've seen one roar in 21 minutes. It's just Prodigy doing such a good job at pushing out the waves and at the same time regrouping all the time so they don't get... They haven't really been giving Liquid opportunities to catch people off. They're pushing it very wisely where they get like that...
Park up. Is it time for Prodigy? I don't know if it's time for Prodigy to do it. Liquid just able to retreat, and that's a huge kill for Liquid to claim. We say they have an opportunity
on that. He feels safe right now.
That he does. I suppose while Beastmaster Aurora is down, there's not as much that's going to be able to control you. It was...
Because I know they...
There was two heroes
on the high ground.
There was two heroes, I think, that were there.
The Hawk, by the way, it looked like they had no idea. And this is obviously super good for Prodigy. The big line of safety for your Queen of Pain. Such a great Aegis hero. In a game like this, the only real way you die is Roar, and now you're safe from it for 5 minutes.
If they can stay protected. I like how SD, okay, yeah, get the hell out of there, Tiger. He's been adding some pressure on the top lane, but Quap just pushes it back. Boxy can send his army to do the same type of thing. Mickey's going in for an S and Y next. I was kind of wondering, like, what would be the item choice that, I don't know if you wanted to stand or if you meant to have more of a presence as a bristleback, or is it just pure survival?
I don't know what alternatives are really good here. Like, sometimes you buy Abyssal, but I don't think you buy it in this slot.
But now save will arrive, the shackle flies forward, and Monkey King, you normally...
Warding. Is there anything really good to purge here? Windrun? Fate Edict?
Punch to the Ember as much
Flame
as you
Guard.
can.
Yeah. It's okay. It's not like
He's going to get a 4-star later on. Blink off some forward. Just back.
he kind of needs.
All 3 book being up from Boxy. He's at least. we're back to the standard roll. Boxy on one lane. Koifer on.
Once in a while, like the Monkey King dying bottom earlier, or Boxy getting caught in the top half not too long ago as well. It's
All of neutral items. So they got the best one in the world to keep the defense up. Actually, that's the other way. That's not for VP. They've got the repair kit. You got Quickening Charm and Spider Legs for the tier 3 items. It's a very nice deal for Koifer. A double of some forward. Koifer still wondering if he needs to go forward. Tiger lets the purge out over on the Centaur. Low Sword comes a little bit too late, and DM just really doesn't have the life to survive. Boxy goes straight for the roar on the Oracle. Play around him or pick him off. That's what they've got. Centaur still not dead yet, while both the supports of Liquid, they will fall. Oracle has him creep. There was still surviving. Save doing such great work with the Spirit Vessel down. Koifer's got no.
he plays this hero a lot in pubs, and I've said he tends to be like the hero itself is just hit or miss and work as a support. It's so much harder than it looks though. Prodigy are just playing a really.
You've got your Wind Ranger going in for an MKB.
Buyback out, and the Beastmaster took a big fight.
Liquid will have to just do the big high ground defensive ball.
Few of them having way more vision the whole time, as Boxy will get solo killed.
Some cool stacks. He has something going here, but now he's shackled to the Vember Spirit fake. They got created by Tiger, who FM will now finally get rid of Tiger in the back lines. No buyback for him. They're all gone and mug him from the very get-go. Spearing into it. That one's a little harder to claim.
He's
Oh,
just
that's McKay's
taunting
plan.
now.
This is McKay's plan. Wait until all the mana is gone.
Damn. This game, just all of VPP, awesome movements, really good at backing each other up. You can't just get it rolled over like this. Not in a low bracket final. Come on.
You want flawless, you just look at the KDAs of Virtus Pro. Like, FN had 1 death to his name, and Oracle has the other 4. That's it.
Yep.
Everything else, like, this is...
Kept above that 3-to-1 threshold we talked about.
Yeah, I just really well played game. I thought Synderen kind of already touched on. You've got Bristle mid against the Quap. The Quap's going to be able to play far more active. If Bristle isn't involved in the moves you're making, he can't get involved. And in addition, you just had a really good read on what this Mickey Bristle strat kind of revolves around. All these stacks in the jungle, they did a nice job invading. Notably, the 5-man rotate, kill Bristle, kill the mid tower. Don't just rotate for kills, but towers. That opens the map for them.
Yeah, I think an interesting thing in this game is, though, it's the fact that you have the SD stacking that northern side of the jungle where the Centaur can rotate in. Potentially, if they were stacking the bottom side, it's a little bit harder for Prodigy to actually rotate in and punish it. But then it's also the mirroring move of pressuring mid with supports plus Quap, whilst the Centaur then steals the stacks. And I think at that point, you pretty much own that kind of a whole area. The Bristleback doesn't really have that comeback mechanism. Multiple times during cast, we've mentioned like how Liquid is always... They go even or a little bit behind maybe in laning phase, but their stacks are what brings them back up in the game. And then you take that factor away, then they're kind of on the back foot the entire game, right? Like, it's very hard.
To the days of G-Quap, back when that was like a style of play you could utilize. You could be aggressive, you could win your lane, start roaming around. He was involved in almost every single kill,
Let's get shackled. I want to put a little bit more emphasis maybe on Prodigy's playstyle and how after they took the initial like open, much about the skipping, and it was always
to do is go teleport to a tier 2 on your own side of the map. No, stay aggressive, cut.
They felt like they could get together, right? Because I think Synderen hit on the draft. He's like, I would have maybe liked to see Liquid make a few more plays, but it just felt like Prodigy were relentless. They didn't give them a chance.
Well, you can't with the course.
Yeah, the issue you have is, we spoke about the playstyle in which they're playing up in the front of the face of Liquid. You have Ember and Quap mobile cores that can maybe catch up and push out the waves if needed. But think about the vision game. When your supports are locked in your base behind a Bristleback, trying just to keep him alive, you never get wards out on the map. You pair that as well with the fact that Beastmaster is using his Hawks to play with the Monkey King so he doesn't get picked off as well on the other side of the map. And on top of that, the Centaur then eventually gets the gem. I don't know if he bought it or someone bought it for him, but then you pretty much Liquid has no vision. Around 30 minutes, they smoked, got a DD rune. That's maybe like that comeback play, but they're making this play into no vision, holding a high ground which doesn't have any value for Prodigy. So I think honestly it was literally a flawless game, and we said they have to play with kill advantage and own the game, and they did that. So props to them.
It definitely feels like they have the right support to do it, right? If you think about all the fours within this tournament, Save has a unique style and a unique pool.
I just love to see it, and this is something that's frustrated me about watching Enigma play, is just, I feel like it's the same, how do I put this? When I see OG beat teams, and they're not, like, just fight them. I'm just like, just fight them. You know they're running at you. Just fight them. Pick aggression, right? And that's why I feel like you could take this Prodigy lineup and give it to Team Enigma, and they would just start owning. Like, because they're just so good when they can be aggressive. And this is what you need to beat a team like Liquid. Because they're gonna out-farm. Their style is that their supports are in the back, their cores get ahead, they start eating the map, taking the stacks, etc. Don't let them do that. Go kill the tower. Bring 5 heroes. Because Liquid love to do those battles, but they're always leaving Koi for a boxy out on an island. They're trying to get as much out of the map as we can. Sind also made a nice point about how they didn't expect this Bristle to die middle a couple of times. They're only sitting there with the Shadow Demon behind them because they think, oh, you know, they're not going to hard commit. They're not going to go for this kill.
Heard play Mo, he's tanking enough, but
they do. Just like, you know, they're calling the bluff. You know, do you want to leave this guy here? We will kill him. Thank you. We're going to go farm the creeps now. But it's challenging Liquid on your own terms. You got to be willing to do that.
Yeah, I think it's the puzzle that is CIS Dota. I think I've heard some people say whenever they play against these CIS teams, it's kind of mind-boggling how they make that outright aggression work.
yeah, I think that's where if you want to reflect maybe back to the Secret game as like a opposite to what this game it was like, they had that same aggression. This is what they're really good at, is that first 15-minute laning phase map presence. And it's the fact that, for against Secret, for example, they're able to play slow enough and the map quick enough that even if under pressure, they can own the game. So Liquid, though, like you said, they like to be a little greedier and they rely more on the farm that they're losing.
This was a bit too much, though, because the Bristle Monkey are filling the same role in the draft for them. Typically, I've seen them run with like one of these style heroes. And if you have, say, a Bristle or Monkey mid, and your carry is like a Lone Druid or a Lycan, this makes a lot more sense because now that pressure on the side lanes is more effective, it's a stronger laner, and you have like this centerpiece. Whereas now it's just kind of awkward because you've got like a 3-2 setup, but who's the Monkey King ult? Like, who are you protecting? Who is Bristle protecting? You don't have a ranged core, and typically these heroes function best with, say, a Death Prophet, where you can sort of make space for him within the engagement.
It also doesn't help that you lost your bottom tier one tower pretty early on. The Beastmaster was out of play, so even if the Monkey King wants to try and make a play, he doesn't have an offlaner, he doesn't have a mid. Like, you lose your lanes, lose the game. Basically the story of most games, right?
Credit to Epikid as well. He was stacked as all hell very early on in that end, but we'll see if it actually gets through the first phase, because I felt like that was a pretty brutal force to be reckoned with in that early game.
It's hard to point out. It was just a well-done game by Prodigy. You know, you win a game that hard, it really is a team
It wasn't
effort.
like a standout person. They all stood out, right?
Everyone did their job.
That's all you ever want in a game of Dota. But what do we want to see switched up in the opening phases this time around? Did we feel like Team Liquid's opening was the problem, or was it just the way they followed through? Or were we just saying, no, don't even talk about draft. This game one was just all VPP's execution.
Kyle just touched on it, the idea of you have Bristle and Monkey King.
Yeah.
That's a key point, and I think it's mainly just about your presence within the lanes, right? Like, if you lose your lane, it puts you in a bad stead, right? So give yourself a playmaker, and then from that you can then take these 4v5 fights, right? So that's pretty much it. Ban the Void Spirit.
Do you ban the Ember here?
I like the way that Prodigy bans, actually. I like how they do the first phase Lycan ban, and second phase Lone Druid, and then pretty much like all DK, and it forces your hand on your last pick. You're like, what's our quick of a hero?
They also key it in, and this is what was missing from Liquid's lineup. They didn't have a hero that could hit towers. I think that's what I was trying to say, is that you're effectively building this lineup around this guy that's going to hit the tower. You're boosting his damage output with the Beastmaster, but they didn't have a guy to actually do it. And if you remove the Lycan, the Lone Druid, and the DK, you really cripple Liquid's core philosophy, which is to always have something that can pressure structures. And you can't replace that as easily as you can, say, you know, Boxy's hero, or even just any individual hero. It's what that does for your lineup. And I'm curious to see if they first to a DK, perhaps? Will you go to a first to Lone Druid, or do you just kind of switch concepts?
I'm just trying to think of the openings to the Oracle. Like, Grimstroke comes to mind. Obviously, lane, you don't lane it against him because obviously Oracle just dispels it, but the game is perfectly fine. But
do you like the idea of maybe Nature's Prophet in the early phase? Give that push, because that's available.
maybe.
I always like
+1 actually, so it's pretty strong as well.
The thing is, Insania, I haven't seen him And I understand this too, because I think it might be something to do with him being the primary shot caller and captain. But playing micro heroes is super difficult if you're primary shot caller. I think it's a big part of what makes OG successful is that No-Tail's free to like maximize his own gameplay, and because Seb has more of a role, they have more of like this organic flow to the games. No-Tail can just focus on Dota. But I personally know when I was playing Furion or Beastmaster, my ability to captain was like literally cut in half because I just had too much to think about. So it was either play the hero badly or play with your team poorly.
Or just go for the middle and just go average on everything.
Or just bad, yeah. Depending on where you actually average out.
There's the Grimstroke and then Centaur's available as well. The question was, would they still go for Centaur? Obviously, without the parry, but yeah, of course, you're playing against Oracle, just go for it. Why not? There's actually no reason not to go for Centaur.
And I like this. This is a Prodigy. This is just, laying it on the table. We knew you were going to do that. We're picking Monkey King anyway, immediately. This is good, especially with the 1-game lead. And from the way they were talking, we know Prodigy's been giving a little sass in their interviews. For some reason, getting called out about that because apparently our community just wants everyone to give responses
well,
like,
humble and
nice. They played really well.
But the flip side, though, they did actually wait for Liquid. Because Mickey had internet issues, so they did actually wait to play the...
Yeah, they want to prove that they can beat them.
Yeah, they're competitive, but you know what? Like, I wish we rejoiced more when people were talking shit. It had storylines,
character, personality.
Yeah.
You ever watch like other esports scenes, especially ones that are just starting up, and you've got those people just yelling at each other across the screen, like, hell yeah, they're great,
baby. I love fighting games for that. The stand-up stare down. That was there's some good clips of that. But yeah, they banned the Lone Druid again as expected. It just makes sense. You keep reducing Liquid's ability to easily translate fights into objectives, and the benefit of Lone Druid is about strong laner. It's another thing I think we probably failed to mention is that DK Lone Druid Lycan an Oracle, so you're already going to guarantee that the laning phase is alright. In addition, I think you have to see a whole draft before you can really say, we're afraid. Because Phoenix is another example of this really high volatility hero, where if you have no egg hitters, it's like, oh god, we can't deal with this, is insane. And then if you have a bunch of them, it's like, no big deal.
Yeah, because like right now, it's like, it's a good Phoenix game, no egg hitter, right? But then 2 picks left to go.
Yeah, Lifestealer, Jug, both options.
Yeah, like the reason why VP's drafts are often so strong is because this early Monkey King pick, when they already see the beefy boy offlaner, right? Like again, I'll keep mentioning it against Alliance, right? You have these Centaur, Mars, heroes. You pick Monkey King, you know that lane's going to be solid. So even if you have to put him in the safe lane, it's a good lane. Like
unrelated. Do you see the clip of Snoop Dogg being interviewed after his esports team lost?
Oh yeah.
It's so good. It's like what every pro players wanted to say in an interview when asked the question, like, how does it feel? You guys lost. He's like, man, I can't. I actually quote it properly, but he pretty much just said, "Yeah, it sucks."
Yeah, that was it. Obvious question, sir. Move on to like someone a bit more interesting.
This is interesting. So Clinks is another example of a way to isolate and expose dual squishy ranged intelligent support duos. You find them, you blast them off the map. And to win a fight against this Prodigy lineup, you need to be able to find the 2 supports.
It's the double cage match strat.
Yeah.
Monkey puts his ult down, Clinks puts his ult down. Do you want to stay in Wukong's? Because I got my boys here too.
Yeah.
It's a cage match. It's a bloodbath.
And that is a wow. Underlord, you do not see this hero very often. That DM, that does not have a stun. So we've got to imagine one of those Smurfs he talked about. Sorry to steal your thunder.
Yeah.
He probably put in work on the hero. We thought he couldn't play. He's like, no.
That was the next level play. It's like, you always need stuns. No one will see this one coming on the final day.
Underlord, man, this is
VP's way of controlling the draft when they can't decide whether Clinks is laning. Because the Clinks in safe lane against an Underlord might not be too hot, right? So you put now you're like, alright, maybe you have to put the Clinks mid, you have to pick up a new laner to deal with our Underlord so that we don't have a completely free Underlord game, right? That's maybe the way that you see it. But for Prodigy, and especially when you have DM in your team, you could easily put this hero wherever the Clinks goes. Like, DM used to play this mid lane with these quirky heroes, so it's a nice pick overall.
Yeah. I guess you're maybe not as scared in that stare down you just mentioned, right? Where you put down Wukong's, the Burning Army gets summoned, now you've got an Underlord to kind of bully away the Clinks,
All
maybe?
he has to do is exist, and this game is pretty easy for him. Like, right now, Liquid's damage is pretty much, for like the big damage, it's the physical on Clinks, right? You have all like enabling damage, but it's not your killing damage is physical. So this is why Underlord is so prominent right now.
And you pick up a pipe, and suddenly
Crimson Guard as well.
you look at the Liquid lineup. You just don't have too much raw damage output right now, and it's primarily single target from the cores at least.
Is the reason we don't see his hero too much because when he falls behind, he just feels like a big creep sort of thing? It doesn't feel like he survives the initial battle if you're not ahead, right?
Kind of just, it's not really figured out in the meta yet. I think that in this spot it's still solid because you're not picking the Clinks. You're similar to a TA, but with more volatility because you have stacking damage from your Q that like adds up over time, and you're more of like a hunter killer. You don't do as much structure damage, and you're not as durable, but you're still solid, especially I think against a Monkey King. It's a very low armor hero, and it fits the concept of what Liquid are going to try to do here.
I think the main point is what you've touched on about the whole killing sports, right? It's a hero that independently can move and waste so many resources, right? So that's why it's so prominent. Or especially in this draft alone.
Yeah.
We will see the Kunkka. Yeah,
Kunkka's an amazing ban. Like the best ban I think they could have done. I was thinking maybe I wanted to see them pick it, and I looked over and saw the ban, like damn. But
They could just quap again.
yeah, Stan.
Is there anything else that comes to mind they found? Oh, hello.
Another answer to the Clinks. Liquid are going to have a real tough time killing anybody, especially with the Oracle behind. This is a really nice pick from Prodigy, and they expose the weakness so far in the 4 heroes Liquid selected, which is a lack of sustained DPS.
Or
specifically
damage in general,
physical.
right? Damage in general.
Yeah.
Pretty much all
Just
one
damage.
hero, yeah. And this is where, when you're playing against a team that has shown flex, but with like one hero in 2 lanes, as long as you pick 2 heroes that counter that flexibility, you pretty much are in a good spot right now. So Underlord and Necro both happily laying up against Clinks, and there's a lot of pressure of this last pick being able to actually do the damage needed.
I know
to,
it's a
What's
sniper.
Gonna be? No.
Oh, really?
That doesn't look like a sniper to
could be
me.
a new age.
I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of that pick here. The laning phase will be great, but I don't like Razor against Underlord at all because you just kind of kite him through the pit, and the Rain of Fire does significant damage. It's max HP based. This is a tough draft for Liquid, and the double link doesn't work either. So it's not as if you get that extra usability from the Grimstroke.
But outside of like route on Underlord, this is pretty much like the freest game for Liquid to control the fights, right? Like the Clinks can get the evasion running first. As long as he doesn't get blown up, he's fine. Stampede gets you out.
Yeah.
As soon as Root comes out, like the fights just go.
No, you're right, because they don't. VP Prodigy can't make plays.
They can't. Like
Their
yeah,
three
this is
cores
like
are just.
static.
they exist. They're boys. They just like they go to lane and they do their thing. Meanwhile, your Clinks will just be freely moving. It's the same support duo that we saw them Prodigy play against Secret, where they could play the moves, but they couldn't.
Yeah,
So
and
you get your eyes.
they don't have a goddamn thing for the egg either. You know, thinking about it, actually, it's similar. It's swap roles. Liquid need to maintain like a 2-to-1 kill advantage, and VP
give them an
Prodigy just
easy
have to
time.
exist, get so big that they just don't die, and then eventually walk down lanes.
And it's the fact that Razor in this game, he has a free lane no matter where he goes. Of course, I believe this lane he should be mid, but again, could be carry. He can then make those moves early on, pair that with the Clinks, and whatever lane he goes to, the core will be complete out of place. And
You just, I'm looking at actually, Liquid, like their heroes can't die.
they can go Roshan easily with the Deso on Clinks as well.
They have lift and pit, and you know, you all mini disables. Prodigy need like a really solid lane performance to take this one. I don't know. I think we might end up with 3 games.
Cypher's out of here too. Sorry. Sorry, I was supposed to say
Alright.
Phoenix by Zags. Cypher's
yeah.
Boys, your eyes have been opened. It sounds like you're in Team Liquid's side. Is that where you should sit?
Yes.
All right. Well, Carl said it needs to be a 2-to-1 kill ratio, and we'll see if Liquid can actually pull this off and take us to a 2-to-1 score overall as we throw it into Game 2 between Team Liquid versus Pro Prodigy.
You know, we think when we have a panel or an entire show without Alan, we could just forget about the numbers for a bit and focus on the feeling, Sin. What's your feeling for this game?
Well, so when Alan does stats, he, uses actual statistics. Kyle just throws numbers around and hopes they land. It's kind of like a bingo, If you say enough numbers, eventually you're going to have the line, right? So, let's say 2-to-1. Okay, let's see if that's good enough for this game.
Yeah, no one saw that from Insania. That was fine.
So the thing about this game, and I think the reason the panel is a little bit like I'm kind of with them in having a hard time gauging this game because there's not like it's hard to find something firm to just hold on to and be like, this is what is going to matter the most. Like, the Dire lineup is really tanky but doesn't have the best catch. The Radiant lineup has pretty good damage and team fight, but doesn't necessarily have the best laning scalability or the ability to do enough damage against these guys. It kind of becomes a game of math, honestly. Like, can you pierce them or not? And for Prodigy, I'm imagining that what they want to do is they want this Underlord to get auras, and then they want to force a fight around Roche that they win so they can get Roche, because their lineup can't do that either.
But the panel was leaning a lot more towards Liquid to actually achieve Roshan. So like you win the fight around Roshan so you can just finish the hard work that Liquid have done.
The thing that I'm mainly looking at in this game compared to the last one is that the initiative to get a lot done is a lot less in Prodigy's court, and the way they won the last game was just overwhelmingly aggressive plays. And now the game might be a bit more Liquid's tempo, the way they like to play. So I think, at the very least in the draft, they've accomplished that they've set themselves up for their play style.
I suppose we could also look towards just FN then. Like, he was such a superstar of Game 1, and now he's on this Necrophos. Like I think long of the days gone where you get like blink daggers on these heroes and you get them really aggressive. Like, and what is that tempo you even look to have set by who? Is it Epikid's movement? Is it DM's movement? Is it just the supports playing really well from Prodigy that let them set any kind of tempo? Because once they're ready to go, like, who is the one actually going?
I think thinking of the game in that way is probably not the way this is going to go down anyway. Prodigy are going to reach some sort of critical mass, and then they're going to ball down towers. Okay. And it's up to Liquid to choose, can we win these fights? And if we can't, they need to just split as fast as the enemy team is pushing, which they're able to. Clinks and Centaur are no pushovers when it comes to taking towers, so they can both defend and play aggressively. So the options are definitely there.
Feels
just
like
curious to see how it plays out. This is a very interesting game. Like,
yeah,
a little bit, what's the word? Not at home in this game.
You're unsettled. You can go with unsettled, maybe. Or ready to learn. The laning phase, I kind of also want to see, like, Mickey's progression. Like, how fast does this Clinks actually get some damage up and running? Especially up against, like, an Underlord. Underlord's pretty damn tanky with his 5 armor. Insania wants to try and do something against him, able to hit the Inkswell, and Mickey just keeps punching through. The DM's got all the life to survive.
It's still how you play against Underlord, though. I think with this kind of lane, you want to bully him as much as possible in the low levels, because once he gets more points up in Firestorm, he doesn't even need to look at you anymore. You just place the Firestorm and go and pull or cut waves, whatever he wants. It is actually even an option now for Prodigy if they want to. They could just start going between the towers now and casting Firestorm on every wave. But they're electing to stay in lane so that they can hopefully get some pulse off from safe. He will complete this one. Unless... Yeah, I don't even know if Liquid mind this too much. They're kind of just gonna farm it. Mickey has Death Pact now, so he can eat the big Ursa as he will. I don't know if I'm ever gonna stop calling these Ursas. That's one of the few things from Dota 1 that has never... Like, it's never stopped for me.
You don't want to call them Hellbears? I know for a while you used to call them like tomatoes.
Yeah, some people call them tomato potato. That even shows even more like the unwillingness to learn the new names. It's like, oh, whatever.
Well, the unwillingness to know that like tomatoes actually come in multiple colors as well, so you can still call them tomatoes.
Oh yeah, both of them. Well, then it's really bad descriptive. You don't know which one you're talking about. Top lane, Epikid.
Yeah.
Some good damage, but not enough damage.
It's just harassment back. They know he doesn't have any consumables left. He bought the orb of Venom. In fact, this safe lane of Prodigy has nothing now that salve has been burnt left. Everything is gone. But Epikid's got that innate ability to hit 4 stacks up, slap on down, and Tiger's doing everything he can to just dissuade them from fighting. Mid lane's pretty even. 21-7 versus 8. Okay, maybe not that even. 21-8 versus the 19-3.
That's pretty good for Necrophos, as far as I'm concerned. This is a Razor lane.
Even when Koifa then gets the regeneration rune as well.
I mean, that'll add assault to the wound, but the wound isn't that.
They want to go on top.
I mean, he just did a 0.
Spirit's flying forward. And is in a lot of trouble. And Tiger's got the tick damage, even Epi Kid. All that regeneration that was never used because it wasn't there means that the Tiger actually gets a double kill in this off lane of Team Liquid. And then Mickey goes for bottom lane. Over towards DM, as much harassment as they possibly can, but it won't work when the Stroke of Fate is unable to connect.
Fire Spirits are so good in lane against Monkey King. I think if there's one thing you really don't want to face as Monkey in the safe lane, it's a support that has attack speed slow. The two worst matchups are this Phoenix and the Jakiro. It's just so hard if you can't get your stacks off. And we're seeing it there that Tiger can easily pressure him. As soon as the Fortune's End has been used, you can just lay Fire Spirit after Fire Spirit into this Monkey King. He can't fight back. Like, there's just nothing there. Might even see Epic Kid just maxing out Tree Dance because of that. Just start semi-jungling, just push out waves, and stop playing the lane because it's too complicated.
That's a pretty sad day when that has to happen, though.
Yeah, you really don't like that as Monkey King. I think it's part of the reason this Razor pick is actually very good is that it doesn't allow Monkey to go mid. Like, you don't want to face the Razor either. And you could have put the lanes differently from the start with Monkey mid and Necro top, then Necro gets to face Centaur, which is really good. But I think they're concerned that the Monkey King's game is just too bad. So you kind of have to settle.
I'm loving that game sense from FN. He's going to get a static link now and have to be forced back underneath his own tier 1 tower. But Liquid actually TP'd in the Grimstroke to try and be involved in this. And Tiger moved down as well.
It's just perfect timing on the attack and deals 0. Like, why even try? What's the point?
Should it actually get to 0 damage?
Welcome to playing against Razor. It's very his reward here, and yeah, he traded off Health of 2, but he's got 2 points in Heartstopper, so he will be getting this wave now.
And there's the tip. Give some sass, please. He's number 1 net worth on the field.
He is winning this lane as Necro against Razor. That's really good. I gotta say, I don't think this is how this lane goes, especially not considering Liquid probably agree when they last picked the Razor into this that they felt favored in this lane. But
no, the funny thing is too, like the numbers that Kyle throws out, it's like, hey, they need to have this many kills ahead of them. It's like, well, you gotta remember that in Dota, kills don't always matter, and you just stay ahead. In farm, Razor, he'll get the DD rune. I thought save, he started the attack and I think he early cancelled to deny up the rune. And DM's gonna be sent all the way home. But he's fine with that. He pulled the wave up, let the firestorm go, and then farmed up a wave and a neutral camp. Doesn't have as much net worth as Boxy, but still got a lot out of this offlane.
yeah, and Underlord always has the option. It's kind of a strange hero in the sense that he doesn't really win many lanes, and he has a lot of lanes that he loses horribly. But if he just does okay, it's actually one of the better offlaners to do okay with, because as long as you get this one item in the Soul Ring, you can go farm jungle camps, you can push out the lane with minimal risk, and your net worth is extremely high value because all you want to buy is auras for the team for your hero to perform. So you can skip a lot of items that other offlaners kind of feel like they need to function, like mobility items and upgraded boots.
Epic Kip.
Oh.
They're just stalking him for the moment. Sentry wards down everywhere. Stampede has to be useless. Not enough mana for a Hoofstomp. Actually, he does have the one charge as Monkey King can't dodge it. And with the damage from Clinks, oh, then again, maybe from the Boundless Strike, it could be Clinks who's the one to go down. FN came in so quick to be part of this fight, and the Centaur just continues to tick out. The Death Pulse is chasing him. And in fact, the heal from Oracle is now helping Centaur a little bit to get back there. Now Razor can arrive, and we turn back the opposite direction. Static link it up. FN will get his TP out to safety. And Tiger has no extra control to really kill up the Oracle unless Oracle turns around and then just disarms the Razor. 95 stolen damage. Hit what? This is Lee Smart from Koifa. He'll need Tiger here as well if they're going to actually claim the outpost. And Tiger, Icarus dies forward, but Monkey King's going to be there. Same with Save for the pickup, but they do get the outpost. But a little too late. It's 150 both ways.
Boxy will TP in, but nothing to connect on. They already disengaged.
And also,
nice response from Prodigy there. Not really what you expect to happen in this game, that a Necrophos is quick to rotate, but He did, and that was massive. Getting those 2 kills, especially Clinks to me in this patch, it's like, it's a ramp-up hero, right? You get Death Pact, you want to find these kills to get the free damage, and if you make rotations and get stopped in your tracks, it feels like you get set back so much.
Catch out the Underlord. Extra slow is provided from Insania this time around.
Blade Mail, so getting some armor against Clinks and Razor, making himself again.
Gonna kill him, and every other bit he can do just to mess with Team Liquid. Ida will do it. He's still kicking.
Dude, that's pretty good space. That was like 15 to 20 seconds that he bought overall, and that lets FN hit mid tower. He's going to go and farm the side, camp to the side. They get the bot tower as well. Like, overall, pretty good trade, I want to say, for Prodigy. At least it was a death pack kill for Mickey. He really wants to keep building up.
Yeah, I think he was actually probably a little sad about, I think, the fight inside the dire jungle before his death pack ran out just as they were starting the fight. I didn't see a creep nearby or...
Are they just gonna try to overwhelm mid already? I feel like this is a bit too early. Like, you don't have the tankiness items yet except the Blade Mail and Necro. Yeah, they're not gonna try for it. They're splitting out again. Underlord, by the way, going ATOS. This is the usual offensive build on this hero. Obviously, the combo is you put down Pit of Malice, then you ATOS the guy, and then Pit of Malice snaps again, because the interval will overlap pretty much perfectly. So a very long route, but obviously makes him susceptible to dying, because it's not the best tankiness item, and that build kind of loses its effectiveness against BKBs when they start coming out. So you're playing, again, to this mid-game timing with Necro, and I think when these 2 items are up, VP really want to take fights. I thought it was going to go Horus this game, actually, and not go for the catch, but they feel like they need it.
It's like, just no auras at all.
Not yet. They will definitely get them. Don't you worry. They will get auras. There is no way you play this strategy without getting auras.
Is Epic looking for his own fight down here on bottom lane? I don't think against the Clinks he decides out. Maybe not the best thing for him. But now Team Liquid, like, you've had this early game phase. Like, they obviously don't know what we know about, like, Necro having so much net worth than everybody else, but you've got to feel good if you're Clinks or if you're Razor. That's your 2 cores with really good farm, item progression moving nicely. So do you try and force fights? Do you look to pressure? Like, you've only taken 1 tier 1 tower so far, and it came with the trade of a lot of damage to your mid tier 1 as well as the tier 1 tower on bottom. Like, can you push? Can you force the issue before a Prodigy are ready with auras or ready with combination items?
I think if you do anything, you look for a rotation when you get the Centaur Blink Dagger. I think that's the best timing your lineup has right now, where you get to take the initiative, because they're kind of suffering from the same weakness as Prodigy right now, right? There's a reason there's 7 kills in this game. Both teams aren't really very good at finding opportunities. They both need to itemize for it. The Dagger on Centaur versus the ATOS on the Underlord. So when these 2 items come out, you're going to see more fights. And I think Liquid will make the first move. I'm pretty sure. Straight after this dagger is up, you see Boxy's just kind of scrambling to get it. He's digging through his entire health pool, farming jungle camps, and he's going to retreat to base. The timing's pretty much perfect here. He'll get just the amount of gold he needs from these wild rings.
And Tigers made sure the top lanes continue to be pressured out as well. DM's trying to play the same battle as well. This is where, like, Prodigy can't just shove it in the bottom lane and have, well, no more space up on the top. They always have to be looking behind themselves. Echo Saber's done for Epic. So, new items, all arriving. Yules and Blade Mail for Necro, Radiance next in his quick buy.
So he's going the Radiance, but after a couple of... It shows quite a bit about, I would say, VP Prodigy's philosophy about how to play the game right now. That they don't want their mid-hero to be this liability that you need to wait for, who wants to build up a really greedy item. They want FN to do stuff now, but they also want him to scale. So now that this timing has been hit, where they have the Yule's Blade Mail as well as the Echo Saber and Monkey King, they want to fight. But so it's the dagger. Oh.
Counter Strike begins it all up. Oracle's got the extra control. Reaper side, Coinfoot just deleted. 70 seconds he is down. Buyback is available. And the rest of Team Liquid are now coming to the mid lane. The Blink Dagger from Boxy. The buyback from Razor will be worthwhile if you can find yourself a kill. The double hookstop Boxy hits the backline and the soul bind silence, and Mickey going to work. Combining that with the Wukong's command, maybe Prodigy can start turning this one around, but Monkey King just stands in the middle and dies in the middle of the Wukong's command. Turn on the Sun Ray, turn on the Blade Mail, burn too. Quick prod of Atos, Tiger, secured by save. But they're going in deeper. Boxy blinked in, couldn't get the stun out. But Mickey getting back-to-back kills.
It's all right for Liquid, but it doesn't feel good to buy back your Razorman at 17. What Necrophos really likes in this kind of game is to have a designated target, and now he has one, right? Next Reaper has Koika written all over it. He'll be dead for like 80 to 90 seconds, and that opens up for towers. And speaking of it, they even got a tower. It's got denied by Insania, very nicely done, of course, but it's still, the space on the map is more important than the gold. And despite losing, or winning that fight rather, for Liquid overall, I don't really feel like they won in terms of the macro of the game. That wasn't really favoring them overall.
But does this still work for Mickey, considering he gets that permanent damage?
It's true.
Like,
it's a fact
still building him up. It's better than the 2 damage. Down, but back into the pit, Tiger just kept moving forward. Necrophos.
To this play, it was like they didn't think it was going to happen, or that they weren't going to be in time. She'll play for Liquid, they just didn't take. This Necro is getting really big now. Like, it's starting to...
Further out of here with the pit, the control, Centaur, he needs some extra help, but the Reaper Scythe will take him out for a minute. Tiger also on the retreat. It looks like, yep, Prodigy will have to move outside the Wukongs. But still, Koipa not there. He's farming the top lane. He's trying to get to his BKB, but Liquid were the ones who started this.
What's happening to Liquid in this? I want to say today, but they've obviously had some good moves earlier this game. It's just... this jump, Centaur jumping the Oracle in the middle of the forest with nobody around him to help get the kill.
And now you may lose Koip for anyway. He's got a Yule Scepter available, starts with the static link of the Monkey King, forcing him away, but it's the Rod of Atos into the pit. He'll hit the deck, rooted once again. Mickey can at least pick off Ina.
Liquid are really outnumbered in these plays. Yeah. They're getting punished for Razor being on the other side of the map and getting... remember, this was their choice, right? It was Boxy jumping in on the Centaur. He jumps the Oracle with no allies around. When Centaur jumps, there needs to be a Clinks on the money right away to follow up.
Okay, actually going over towards the Rubik. Turn on the Sun Ray, and they're going to work with...
It's so tempting, you know? You cut Monkey out of the tree, you're 2v1, but they identify they probably can't get that kill in time before help arrives, and then they would both die. That was actually really impressive, because honestly making calls like that in that moment is very difficult. So, nicely done.
Mickey is courier hunting, but he's just right underneath the sentry ward. There's another sentry ward too. He's in between 2 of them. They'll trigger the dust, and now Mickey, they burn off the Wukongs and drop the Reaper's Scythe, needing the kill before the Scythe is able to arrive. So 70 seconds, such long death timers. This is just a game versus Necro. And Necro already has a Sacred Relic. He's gone 6-0-4 in effort. You know, I said like the whole... I do have Necro rotating around and getting kills and being the playmaker that FM was in game 1.
Yeah, you do, apparently.
Yeah, you really do. With Blade Mail first item pickup.
He hasn't even pressed the button, I think. I actually don't think he's used his Blade Mail yet. That does not make it a bad purchase, because it obviously does disincentivize Liquid from targeting him and fighting, so the fights will look different. It's just, overall in the landscape of this game, I've been lacking that feeling of decisiveness, similar to game 1 from Liquid, where now it's go time, we go together, and we get the jump that we want. They got one mid, where their tower was being pushed and they bought back Koikva, right? That was their best team fight so far. Right? Everyone was together, everyone combined their spells. They isolated the correct target by killing Oracle first. They have the tools. I definitely feel like they have the tools to take fights. But VP Prodigy are just one step ahead every step of the way. They have more people, they get the jump, they have the map control. And a lot of it comes down to towers, right? It's the fact that they've only lost one tier 1 top, which generally happens, but they've taken both the mid tier 1 and the bottom tier 1. And this mid tower is constantly a pain in the butt for Liquid to handle, just pushing this wave back all the time. It's very annoying to deal with.
The funny thing is though, like, I think Liquid are getting better at pushing up the side lanes. Like, Bugsy's been very elusive with the Centaur on the off lane. Tiger, he knows he's a sacrificial Phoenix. Yeah. Like, he knows he doesn't survive this. You put down the spirits, Monkey's just waiting for an extra little bit of help. Underlord will get the perfect control, or will he? Icarus dying, Phoenix gets the TP, and that's pretty huge. Waste of time.
Oh. They definitely misplayed that. Epikid actually stuck close to him, and as soon as the Pit of Malice came down, he got cut out of his tree. So he couldn't stun. That was heads up from Taiga, but also probably shouldn't have happened there. There you go.
Team the auras.
Oh, and they are going to
Monkey,
find
they
the
found
opening
Foxy.
to caught out again.
I don't know how quickly Razor just moves to the opposite side of the map. It's like, just get away from me. I haven't finished my BKB yet. And Razor is the #1 net worth hero over on Team Liquid, and he's got Yules and an incomplete BKB.
BKB.
I was hoping you would
have a
pass
field
by
day with that one.
Come on, I haven't slept in 3 months.
Same for Bulldog. He hasn't thought in a year, so it's fine.
Let's
Bottom tower
let's not bring him into this. I know this is former Alliance.
It's his meme, I think.
Oh, is it? Oh God. Oh, I'm sorry, Trent.
See if this bottom tower gets defended at all by Liquid. They don't seem interested, and I think it's completely fine to give up this one. I think the positional disadvantage is way too severe right now. Prodigy have placed good wards. They have a super fat Necro in front that they can protect with Oracle, so just shove into this tower. And Liquid will try to push out mid and top as fast as they can, but they don't seem confident with getting this mid wave out of the way. This should already be in the enemy tower, ideally. Monkey King is setting up though.
Yeah, they're chasing into Boxy, but Boxy, okay, he wants to go in. There's no one else there with him.
It's the same again.
Yep, Boxy just has one thing on his mind, and that's fight. Razor, the pit, again DM, controlling him up, and Goifer does not have to burn the BKB just yet. Same BKB also just flew in for Epikid. He is very much ready to fight. So what was really burnt from that? Like, you lost Eye of the Storm on Goifer.
Right.
That's kind of it, but now Prodigy push the mid lane, Necro, a pretty big target underneath the tower, they're focusing him down, but the false promise, Oracle didn't get stunned in time, so he gets it out on the Necro, who will also be used into the air. Does anyone else want to follow up on this? Necro is just staying, I don't care, FN, now the Reaper's died, Razor, dead for 90 seconds, no buyback is available, they'll clean up the burning army.
Oh,
and Prodigy will keep the push going.
He didn't account for the Boundless.
No BKB.
Gets turned out of anywhere, and then Reaper there. There's no save in his lineup this time around. Liquid have got so accustomed to playing with saves, but they don't have that Shadow Demon. They don't have that Oracle this game. People exposing themselves to getting killed can die. Oh boy.
Yeah,
it's looking
painful.
rough. It's tough, man. I think this mid-tier 2 tower and bottom tower will both be claimed by Prodigy here. They have so much time, 50 seconds still, and they know Razor doesn't have buyback. If they saw his inventory and saw that BKB, there's no way he has that plus buyback right now in the state of the game. Not a chance.
And Sunny needs to get down here and just nuke the wave as quick as he possibly can. Protect the high ground. It's a catapult wave. Like, yeah, Mickey just, like, he just goes top. Like, oh, fine, I need to get out of here. I need my Desolator. I need my damage. Boxy's trying to get a Halberd up and running, but I'm not even certain that's going to be enough control. This is just all coming up Prodigy once again. But Liquid do have good delay. The split push works well for them. They've got good wave clear. And pushing high ground, like, we still haven't seen a supernova from Tiger, and he has managed to wait long enough in this game to hit level 2 on that ultimate. Something Prodigy doesn't have great things to deal with. And that's an interesting TP from Goifer. They're going to come in behind the mid-tier 1 tower, looking for a target.
They need to find Oracle. They just need to. It's the access point you have to this fight.
They're wrapping all the way behind, and Oracle is going to be there, but I'm seeing 2 couriers coming in. One's got the headdress and the toe. I see 3 couriers coming in. The army, the squadron has arrived from Prodigy. Grimstroke quickly deleted, and now Razor isolated inside the Wukongs and the Pity. Has to BKB. At least he's able to get that one off this time around. So they bow the burning army inside the tree line. This might be okay if Liquid can get a couple more kills. They got the Oracle now into the Supernova. Prodigy had to go on full retreat. FN cannot do it, however. Yule's brought down. Underlord stunned up. Box, he wants to get the chain stun out. Your buyback comes in from Oracle. So Fortune's End now is actually going to be there. False promise. DEM, get the hell out. Full Uber back to safety. Probably not exactly how they wanted to use the buyback, but hey, your core stay up after FN goes down.
That was not bad for Liquid whatsoever. Even though they're insta-killed, what happens is Prodigy are caught in this awkward limbo in the middle of the map where they have used their Boundless Strike to kill that support, right? It gives a lot of freedom for them to come in, combine all their spells, use Stampede to just overwhelm. And Prodigy losing that Oracle early on, the safety net for Necro is gone. And he does become a target. Now this is a key moment in the game. Like, Mickey?
Under Sentry Ward. Key moments indeed. Mickey being picked up. The Sun Ray from Tigers giving him his life as Mickey just silences the Rubik. The Clinks is continuously stunned.
They're not going to get it. It's
They'll
not
be so
enough to
angry
kill
that their Sentry Ward is just out of range of the Dire Sentry Ward too.
Can't catch a break.
You really can't. And a Dire Sentry Ward got planted in range of the Radiant Observer Ward in mid lane. All breaks are off.
It feels like you do need a little bit more than this Necro kill to confidently go Roche. There's still too many potential issues with this mid-tier 1 tower up. I think part of the reason Liquid hesitated so much is that they know if Necro buys back and there's a fight going here, he connects within 5 seconds. He ports aggressively on his tier 1 and walks over and he's there. So the fight it doesn't feel like a 5v4 for them in their minds. And they were right to think that. I think if they do brute force this Roche, it could have lost them the game. There's a good chance you just get overwhelmed there. So, problem is, you might have softened it up a little bit. I don't know if it's enough though. They left it at high enough health that Prodigy aren't doing it.
No.
This ward bottom just paid, I think it paid dividends. I think it saw 2 or 3 heroes in that bottom aggressive ward from Aina that almost expired. So maybe Prodigy can get a read on what to do here.
The hasted Rubik. There's one quick flyer. 4-man smoke up from Liquid. They're coming over with the Boundless Night Monkey. He's coming in very, very close. Got to be careful. Box needs that jump forward to get the double stun. First with the Inkswell, then the double stuns. But they're battling into the Wukongs. Come on, Koi for instantly wants out. 66 HP, and he cuts the tree. Epic Kid, he doesn't build. He can't hit the ground in time. That is the only saving grace for. Yep, there's Spider Legs.
End of Spider Legs. Oh.
That is the only reason Kuiper is alive right now.
No, they can't. And they don't have Monkey King ulti this time, so this fight is...
Smoke. So he's going to break over the Rubik. Clips up! He is the target! Boxy catching out too! DM as well as Rubik. They're going down so damn fast. Safe. He's being saved by his own Ghost. And now Icarus dive into the Supernova. But you've lost Clinks. Your damage isn't there. Epic Kids trying to take care of this Supernova. Everyone coming in together. It doesn't get off in time. Tiger needed a fraction of a second longer. Fox doing everything he can, but he's losing his heroes. The Reaper side putting down the Razor. And now Grimstroke, the last one to die. 5 gone from Liquid. Prodigy. Everybody is up. Of course, you bought back on the Rubik for that to happen, but they're coming down mid. They know the death time is so long from Liquid. They can end this right now and get that grand final position.
That egg goes off. That's a different story, but so many things going right for Prodigy here. Even a small thing like Aina purging off a Fire Spirit might have made the difference there for getting the egg broken in time. And it looked like a good jump from Liquid. They caught 2 heroes, but their Clinks walking in to start dealing the damage immediately gets lifted by Rubik and just taken out. Clinks is the majority of their damage, and he couldn't get it done. Without a BKB, he just gets isolated and killed every single time he comes up close. This is my primary gripe with this hero right now, is even if you get the jump, if Clinks doesn't get a free angle, he is so counterable right now. It goes so fast, like, you're still a frail carry, right? Like, anybody gets on top of you, you're in trouble. So you have to not only get the jump, but Clinks has to be kind of free for the first few seconds. MVP Prodigy, they know, and they're just on top of him instantly. Yeah. 1.5 lane Rax and Roche. This is bad for Liquid now. It's real bad.
Prodigy are just so quick with everything. It feels like they've always got their next objective ready to go. Take the mid, take the bottom, only the melee, because you want to be quick about it before anyone's going to respawn, and then up towards the top lane, remove the final outer towers, and just end this game. In fact, they're only pushing with the Monkey King. They smoke up with 4, looking for anyone from Liquid who may think about venturing out for a moment.
They have a base ward that didn't get dewarded. They see Koikva right now.
Oh boy, Koikva!
Has to be.
It has to be KB, but now he's got that on cooldown for 70 seconds. You may as well be dead.
That's a bit harsh.
Well, yeah, I suppose so, but Prodigy are going to push into you, and you got no high ground defense with it.
Nothing but a BKB. Yeah, the only reason they don't kill him there is that both FP Kid and FN were pushing top tower together. If either of those cores is there, Koikva dies, but it's probably the reason he ventures outside of the base to begin with, is that he sees these 2 cores top, so he feels safe.
Jump in. Yep, they're just using the bait of the beginning Aegis, the Immortal from the Necroforce, battling inside the Wukong's command, a quick stampede, can't get them away, Centaur's already gone down, and now you really start to see Razor and all of Team Liquid just fall apart. They got the Relic on the Clinks trying to get that little bit of... Tiger wants that same level of protection, he doesn't have it. Nikkei moving back to the fountain. He's so low on life, 100 HP, barely surviving. Remember, he's still got the Aegis, the Immortal available. Tiger slapped down by the Boundless Strike, controlled by the Pit. No Supernova available anymore. In fact, Rubik is taking his place as the Phoenix.
I want to say 15 minutes, and then they just consecutively lost every fight, every move. The map, the Roche.
The game.
It's just over.
It really is.